All right, well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sean Slack. We're here with the Hotspot Orlando and About Us magazine. And today we are live in Orlando, Florida, in front of in the back of the House of Blues. And to my disbelief, I'm sitting here with Amy Lee, the lead singer for two-time Grammy Award-winning artist, Evanescence. Amy, welcome to Orlando.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It is
Intro.
very good to see you again, or talk to you again. We talked to you about a week ago on the telephone. We had some interview, and once again, we really appreciate your time, especially with your busy schedule. My gosh.
Thank you. I don't know what to say. It's very, very awesome that you're interested, and this is all great. We're just so happy that we have so much support.
We're thrilled to be able to take some time with you, and our fans especially are going to be thrilled. So. Once again, your schedule seems to be, blasting off pretty quick. They're going off, pretty much all over North America and stuff now, and after a short break. And you mentioned in your last interview that you, I think Troy, had family here. Is that correct?
This is like the little family leg of the tour. Tonight we're in Orlando, so it's Will's family.
Okay,
it's mine too. I have a lot of family in Orlando as well, so it's both of us.
Sure.
We're going to be playing Little Rock on this tour. Of course, that'll be the big, crazy family night for my parents and all their friends and all the old friends that I don't remember if we really were friends, but they're totally on the list. And we did Hollywood, Florida, which is near West Palm, where I grew up. So I had a lot of friends and some family from there.
Awesome.
Too. Yeah, Troy's in Atlanta. We had a big family night there too. So pretty much everybody but Tim is getting a big family reunion on this tour.
Well, that'll be. I guess you won't have much time now. Tomorrow, you guys are going to be off. Are you going to stay for the parks, or are you going right to Biloxi?
We're going to Biloxi.
Okay.
We usually go to where we're supposed to be as soon as we can, so there's no chance that we'll miss the show or something.
Oh yeah.
I'm paranoid about that. I don't like to travel the day of the show.
Well, we talked briefly in our last discussion about your worldwide appeal, which I find fascinating with your fans and stuff. And I'm not sure if you're aware of this or not, but there's actually a poll that's up. I believe it's on Evanescenceville, the Italian site that's real good friends with you guys.
Cool.
And asking about your worldwide appeal, and there's an actual poll up about artists that are going to be playing for the Olympics in London, and your number keeps continuing to rise every day. I think you guys are over 53 right now. They're talking about all kinds of acts, all kinds of singers. Yeah, it's awesome. So I know. Well, that was my next question. Have you had any contact with anybody from the Olympics for the Summer Games, and would that be?
No, that'd be awesome though. We'd definitely say yes if we're available and not booked yet. We're gonna be doing some festivals in the summer for sure.
Very cool.
All across the world. So I mean, that'd be a huge honor.
Sure.
I mean, anytime we get to do something that you've never done before, or that's obviously a big honor like that. Like we did of course, we talked about it before, I think the Nobel Peace Prize concert. That was so cool.
Oh my gosh.
What a huge honor. I mean, I don't know, if anything else could have been booked and we would have dropped it and done that. So we would do the Olympics. Please ask us. We'd love to.
Well, speaking of Evanescenceville, they have a huge Facebook fan page, okay? And I put out a question out there because it's not them. There's one from Croatia, there's one from Italy, there's Brazil, all over the place. And I actually put it out there. I said, hey, if you want to ask a couple of questions, I'll kind of narrow it down. Well, we got a lot of responses.
Cool.
So I got a couple of questions from the fans. I promised that I would ask, so bear with me. The first one is from Hope Cochran, was her name, and asked if you had plans to make another DVD similar to Anywhere But Home that combined, the inside look at the band, the concert footage and videos. This has been extremely popular. I love it myself. It really gives an inside look. Have you guys looked into possibly doing something like that?
It's hard to motivate the powers that be that a DVD is really worth much, like a music DVD, about a band anymore, and I kind of get it. It's just one of those things where to do it in the exact same way that we did it before, I'm not sure if it would work. If we'd be able to actually afford to do it right and then not just go into debt for it. But, I think that just moving into the future, it's more about online anyway, and more content is always better. And I've been thinking recently about that, actually, the way that our shows are now. I think about that DVD. It was so long ago. We at that time hadn't even been playing concerts that long, of course, it was a different lineup as well, and we've grown so much. We have so much more material. I sing better than I used to sing. all those things. I'd love to do a really good professional, great recording of one of our concerts and do something with it.
Right.
But I think it will probably end up being in more of some kind of an online kind of way rather than like a DVD in
Makes
a store.
sense.
And I love the idea of the B-roll and behind the scenes stuff too, because even last night I forget what we were doing, we were laughing so hard. I was like, why? Why is it always these moments? Nobody's filming. No, it's always like the stuff that's off camera that you're like, there's no way that you can capture that.
The bloopers in the video
Yeah, I
are
know.
hilarious.
Well,
I mean, there's some.
We need to do it again. It just means having somebody around you all the time like this.
Exactly.
And it's easy to be like, I don't want to do that, but I feel like it would be really cool if we did that again.
Awesome.
So it's definitely on my radar.
Well, the second one, and this is purely a fan question, okay? Okay, and you're gonna get the gist of this in a second.
Okay.
So this is probably one of the more popular questions, and I promise I would ask. This is from Shelby Brown, and it appeals to all your female listeners. Okay, she asked, "How does your hair grow so fast, and how do you keep it so strong and healthy?"
Aw, it's weird how fast it grows. I don't wear extensions. It's really my hair. I don't really know. Every time I go to the salon, I go and get my hair colored at a salon in New York. And he's like, I don't understand. He's like, what are you doing? Why does your hair grow? I'm like, I don't know. I think I was just destined to have long hair, so I don't know. But I do have my closest friend is also my hairstylist, and she travels with me and takes care of my hair. And I think I would probably look like a total mess if it wasn't for Beth. So I owe a lot of that to her for sure.
Awesome.
I don't have any special secret. Beth's the secret.
As we discussed before, your appeal with the huge Brazilian community, I mean, is unbelievable. Here in the state of Florida as well, with our blog, with our magazine, and some of the comments you made, on our last interview about how passionate the fans are in Brazil, like with them crying when they come to meet you and singing along with your songs. Can you talk a little bit more about your love for playing in front of those passionate, romantic type of fans, and does that give you more energy when
Absolutely.
you're out there performing?
Totally. Sometimes you get up there and, I don't know, I love our music, but there are days when you don't feel like it,
Sure.
It totally turns around when the crowd goes nuts.
Sure.
I mean, it's the most awesome thing ever. It's like we're getting the fuel to play a really energetic, really passionate show. I definitely think it makes a huge difference for us up on stage. We'll play no matter what, if they're just standing there, it sucks, but you just kind of go, work them as hard as you can, and then you just start enjoying it for yourself, But for the most part, I mean, it's been really, really cool for us, and this time around has been really, really cool for us, and I feel like they've been really, really into the new record, and that is the most gratifying thing, because it's like, yes! They like it too, it's not just the old stuff, we still got it,
Your
they're
new
still
record
like,
kicks out, so it's awesome.
Thanks.
Right now, in the area that you're in, I don't even know if you're aware of it, but you probably have 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 Brazilians staying within about a 3-mile radius right now, because right now it's the Brazilian summer, and we get a ton of kids from the tour companies and stuff like that stay up in this area.
Oh, cool.
They go to the parks, they go shopping.
Sweet.
It's very cool. And let's say you go, if you're just out going and you go to Disney, you go to Universal, you go shopping at like Sports Authority or something like that. Do you find the need to disguise yourself, or do you feel like you kind of got to wear a hat or something? I mean, where people just kind of mob you, or is it just a little bit of both?
It depends. Like, you kind of learn the rules.
Sure.
Like, I wouldn't walk right outside this venue and go hang out around here. Like,
right.
The fans are around, they're looking for me. I mean, in general, like, no, I don't wear disguises.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, if I really am like, I don't really want to get recognized, I might pull my hair back, but if they're a real fan, that won't matter anyway. And
Sure.
if I get recognized, I'm going to be happy about that. I'm
that's
so glad to have fans. For the most part, I don't like, go try to be recognized by like sitting at the mall's food court down the street from the venue where
Right.
we're about to play.
Yeah, you walk up there
the
right
rules,
now.
You know where not to go. No hot topics, not around here.
Well, President Barack Obama is actually announced he's going to be in Disney tomorrow. He's going to be actually here at Disney World talking about tourism and hopefully the plans for getting rid of the Brazilian visa requirements, which is very cool. So it will help Brazilian stuff come here. In an election year, I'm just curious, do you have any preferences, Democrat or Republican, or does that play politics in general? Does that play any kind of role in your music at all?
It doesn't play a role in our music. I really believe that music is a place for people who believe all types of different things to be able to come together.
Sure.
And it can be used in all different ways. I know plenty of musicians take it as a platform for their beliefs.
Right.
I sort of feel like everybody should make up their own mind about that, and what's cool is that we all respect each other for having different beliefs, and we can all hang out together and not talk politics.
Awesome.
You know.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
My Heart is Broken. The video is going to be released next week, which is going to be awesome. We're all very excited to see it.
Me too.
And you mentioned a recent MTV interview. You were talking about how it had a lot of dream state qualities, you know, to this video, and you were really excited about the release. Can you kind of talk about how much input you actually have for the direction of an actual video and how that works?
As much as I want. I mean, I usually a lot. I mean, I think it's really important to be like the backbone of your creative works, whatever they are, whether it's visual, audio, or whatever, because, you know, it's supposed to be like a representation of who I am and who we are. It should be somebody else's idea. So there are times, you know, when it's time to shoot a video and I don't have a clue what to do and I'm asking for help on ideas, you know, going, hey, let's submit some treatments, you know, and, you know, directors will come up with cool ideas and then you can get the ball rolling and then collaborate.
Sure.
But this time, both times I came up with an initial idea. My Heart is Broken. I didn't have an idea for a while, and then I don't know why I thought of it, but there's this old cult weird movie that I used to like when I was like in junior high that my girlfriend and I used to always watch called Paper House. It's like this British old movie. I don't know. But what really inspired, I understand now, looking back, like, duh, of course I loved that. It was about like this little girl who had a fever, and like every time she'd draw something, it would happen in her dream. Like, she'd draw a picture of a house, and she'd dream about this house, and she'd draw a little boy in the window, and then there was a boy there. It turns into a nightmare, and she's trapped inside this crazy world that she's created, and stuff starts going around. It's really interesting. So, the video isn't that. You're not going to see that movie and go, oh, I get it, probably. But that's where the original inspiration came from, was how about it's like you're creating your own world, and you're in a dream, you know, to escape reality. But then that becomes a prison. You know, if you can't face reality, you're just in a prison of your own denial.
Sure.
So this is sort of the idea of the video. Of course, it's full of performance, and that's the main thing.
Oh yeah, I saw the preview. It looks like it's gonna rock. We were excited.
I like
about
it.
that.
I'm really happy with how it turned out.
One of my my favorite songs on the new album, "Lost in Paradise." I mean, it really kind of feels like a return to form, similar to kind of like My Immortal, then Lithium with The Open Door. Can you talk about kind of what inspired you to write this new song, "The Lost in Paradise"?
It's sort of complicated.
Is it?
It's funny. I know when I was first writing, I had more of like these specific stories in my head, you know, of like exactly what this song is about and only this. And it's become more about multiple things, you know, that are joined in the same feeling. So for Lost in Paradise, it's sort of it's a weird thing. I really went through like a identity crisis a little bit in between the last record and then making this one. Not a crisis so much as like, you know what, I need to find myself and I'm going to start from scratch. So we all just went our separate ways and lived life for a while. I just got married, you know, wanted to not think about Evanescence for a while. I didn't know if we were going to make another album. I needed to just figure out who I was. Because after a while, you just start seeing so many pictures of yourself with all the makeup and the hair and the fans and the tutus and stuff. And it's like, is that really me? You know, is it my choice anymore? Or am I just doing what I have to do because that's what everybody expects me to be? And I hate doing what everybody expects me to do. I hate it. I hate it. So in a big way, kind of for a while, I felt like I wasn't going to make Evanescence music anymore. But I started making music, and it's not different. Like, as I started making more and more music, I was like, I am this person. Like, I love this sound. Like, that is the sound of my heart. It isn't something somebody else created. I did.
Sure.
You know, I just needed a break from it. So coming back to it after having a minute away made me fall in love with it again. And it made the music come from this, like, cool, organic place. Back to the question. Lost in Paradise kind of came out of this moment where I was just, like, broken and feeling like I realize I am incomplete without this part of me. You know, I'm not finished with this thing yet. It's hard. There's so much drama attached to it, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? It's totally worth it. It's my real self, and I'm not whole. Even though I'm here in this big, beautiful house, you know, and have my wonderful husband and a happy life, it's not complete without this work, without Evanescence, without these fans, and without this thing that I made, and at least just being able to create music again in a real, in some kind of a way where I can show it to people and share it with people.
That, you know, that's so awesome. As you actually segued right into my next question. Now that you are married, do you kind of feel like your life has kind of turned a corner and you're able to focus more on your music, because you found it difficult now that you have your married life, your personal life, to balance, with all the touring and stuff that you're doing, and your personal life as well, with launching the new album and everything. It's a delicate balance. Believe me, I know.
It's life on the road is not normal. It's hard. You never get to totally settle in to being comfortable in one place. You're always saying goodbye. You're always meeting new people, whether it's your friends in the crew or like whatever, town to town. And it's hard. I mean, there's a reason that the road is hard. You don't get to live a normal life and deal with your life at home and your family as much as you really need to.
Sure.
So it's definitely a balance. My husband is a great supporter of me doing this. He was a big part of, you gotta do it again. You want to, I'll be there for you, do whatever you need me to do. Which is awesome. I really couldn't do it without that.
Right.
So it's still learning, I'm still learning how to balance it all. It's definitely something that can be very all-consuming, and it's hard sometimes. Like in the middle of the night, I'm still getting emails like, if you don't reply to this right now, then so-and-so's not going to support your record, blah, 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 blah. It's like there's so much always happening. It's not like a day job where you can close the door and go, okay,
sure,
I'm done now. It's just 24 hours. So sometimes you got to turn off your phone.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like sometimes you have to learn to go, okay, this would be good for me, but you know what would be really, really good for my brain right now is to shut it off and watch Tom and Jerry. Yeah.
Well, that's funny you say. My wife's sitting right here. We've been married 15 years. We have 5 kids, and I'm sure you've probably been asked before. Once you get through with your tour and stuff, do you plan on having maybe a little Amy Lee?
I'd love to
sing an opera or something.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Never any pressure. I definitely want to have kids. That's something that Josh and I have always wanted, and I really hope that that's in our future. We don't have a set plan or anything. Right now, Evanescence, the record, is my baby. So.
It looks like we got just a couple more minutes here before we wrap it up. I promised some of our Brazilian fans I'd get you to speak a little Portuguese, and you said, muito mal, it was a little bit bad.
Yeah.
So we're going to teach her. You guys can help me out, obviously. We just wanted her to say, I love Brazil. So it's
Eu amo Brasil.
El amo or El
Eu amo Brasil.
Eu amo Brazil.
Eu amo Brazil.
There you go. See?
How do you say always? Forever.
Sempre, pra sempre.
Para siempre. Very much. Well, Amy, again, from Hotspot Orlando, www.thehotsporlando.com, and About Us magazine, we could not thank you enough.
Thank you.
For taking the time. I showed you my tattoo already.
I know.
Signed
So
it.
awesome.
I'm getting that tattoo
Awesome.
tomorrow. We're going to call and get it done.
Not common for an interviewer.
I know.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for taking
Pleasure.
the time with us.
Total
and
pleasure.
Good luck tonight.